SSM's Wednesday Global Africa program brings to you our news stories, exclusive reporting, and SSM perspectives on the day's top news. Plus, the inside scoop on Africa's most important developing stories. Join us on Wednesdays, 11 a.m. West African time. In a world where news flies around every minute, you need the ability to relate and connect with what matters and stay up to date. Schengen Story Media News Echoes program is Africans in Diaspora and at Home's leading English news network, one of the most trusted, respected sources for news updates on current affairs as they affect global Africa.
Yes, viewers, you're welcome. You're welcome to Wednesday SSM African Update. And my name is Mark Godwin. I'm here with Big George Chukwu, Toronto, Canada. George, you're welcome.
Well, thank you so very much, Massive Mike. And viewers from around the world, welcome to our Wednesday African Update.
Nice, George. George, a lot's happening, but we take it... we streamline and take the most pivotal issues to address. George, let's start with what's happening in Nigeria. Not good news. Over 30 people. It's almost 40 now. Fear dead when a tanker vehicle exploded, and they say a lot of people have died. The videos are gory, but I think somehow we've been able to remove some graphic parts there. George, we keep having this tanker exploding, this time in Niger State, and it doesn't look good. Families die, people die. George, what do you have on this?
I think it's one time too much already. This is a very, very sad news. A crashed fuel tanker exploded, killing 35 people. Now you're talking about 40 almost. The victims were reportedly, trying to scoop fuel from the wreck. Authorities are issuing major warning. No amount of fuel is worth any human life. But you see, this continues to happen. There ought to be a public service announcement and using local leaders to stop this nonsense. First and foremost, we can talk all we want to, but there are major things that needs to be done to prevent such thing from happening again. Number one is we need to fix the roads and enforce standards among these drivers. Prioritize repairing these bad roads, the sections where most of these vehicles are. And then also to enforce vehicle safety standard to prevent tankers from overturning in the first place. Okay, now secure crash sites immediately when something like this happens, because I mean, come on, how many times are people going to in whole Nigeria? Almost every month we're hearing about one tanker overturning, and then people will rush to want to scoop fuel for what? How can you
so George, I added to that beautiful resourceful tip you gave. Also, we need to begin a campaign. This is what the Ministry of Information and all of these media outlets in government, this is what they should be doing. Let people know the hazard in going out to scoop fuel from an overturned vehicle. How do you go and do that when you know this thing could ignite and boom? You're talking of crude oil, you're talking of gas and all of this explosive. So added to what you said, I think an awareness instruction going around towns and villages where trailer also, could be a good one. Informing people, don't risk your life. Don't risk your life. George, tell us.
Public service announcement. Public service announcement. The government ought to use this. Okay, deploy rapid emergency response protocol to instantly seal off accident sites involving flammable materials, preventing public access until the area is safe. Intensify public awareness.
Until the area is safe. Okay, George, let's get some of our viewers that are also joining us. Let's hear what they're saying. Apostle Kivby just put in something here. She said a campaign is good. George, that's it. That's what we just said. A campaign and the public service announcement is what should be done. Our people are dying like chicken out of ignorance, or I don't know, out of poverty also. How can
stupidity.
Go?
Actually stupidity.
Oh, stupidity. George, this is
no. Listen, speak truth to power. Okay, don't do that. Who is going to see? How many times will people die from not just because a tanker fell? You want to go and scoop fuel? Scoop fuel for what? I mean, come on. It's common sense. Common sense.
Common sense.
Common sense. How many times will it happen?
Yeah, but George, you might be surprised. Some people don't know the implication and the hazard in that fuel. You don't say speak truth to power. Not everybody have understanding like we do. Sometimes this trailer fall. They overturn on villages, on small community where as it's moving. So you don't expect people in that kind of place to know things that much.
How do they know? How do they know that fuel? If they know that they can go and scoop fuel and sell it, then they should know the danger that is there. How many times would it kill people before they understand? Come on, man.
But these are different locations. These are different locations. It kills people. So but this time now it's
in Nigeria.
Yeah.
It's in Nigeria. Yes, it's in Nigeria. So what we're saying is there got to be first and foremost, the government must come in. Let's start re-educating people, warning them of these dangers, so that if it happens, we know that most people, especially using the local government people, to reinforce the information to people. Don't go on any tanker that falls. It's flammable. Don't go close. I mean, come on.
Highly flammable.
Highly flammable.
It's crazy. People are dying. It's crazy. People are dying. Okay. Also, let's look there at same Nigeria. Now, early this morning, George, there is this market called Alaba Market in Lagos State. It's a market where southern eastern business people, the Igbos, do their dealings. They sell, they buy. So this morning also we saw Alaba Market got in fire. A section of the market just started burning. It's crazy. Early this morning, the news came in. That's a clip from the video, the scene. They said a section of the market was engulfed by fire yesterday, this morning, destroying things worth millions and millions of naira. Goods and properties were destroyed. George, now it is a fire. If it's not a tanker overturning, it's fire. So what could you do? You just did a resourceful tip on the tanker thing. What could do we say on this fire engulfing business centers like this?
Number one, we need to find out whether these people intentionally putting fire on these businesses that belong to the Southeasterners. And if it is so, let's find out how it is, where it is, and there are measures that can be put together to understand why this is happening. Why are houses that belong to the Eastern people being demolished in Lagos? Why is it that the places where they concentrate to do their businesses are turning into fire so frequently? What is going on? We need to find out what this is and leave a plain ground for everybody to operate. I mean, but also we need to, those that are doing businesses, because we'll make sure that, I don't know how insurance works in Nigeria. Most of them, they're going to lose all their livelihood. That's going to lose it. So it's sad. Very unfortunate.
Sad. Very, very unfortunate. Viewers, two occurrences yesterday and today. The first one we just discussed is the about close to 40 people now dead as a result of the tanker that overturned and exploded. And people went scooping raw crude oil. Also, we have news coming in from Lagos this morning that a section of the market called Alaba Market, Alaba International Market, has been engulfed with fire, and assets, properties, goods have been destroyed. They say they can't ascertain asset now, but you know, it will be a lot. George, let's just see a clip of that Alaba Market so our viewers can have an understanding of what's happening. And God will indeed have mercy on these traders. So, George, when all of these things happen, it affects a lot. It affects families, it affects income, it affects economy, businesses. A lot of things are put on hold when we have this thing. So, government too could look into this. The government of Lagos State could look at, because they provide these people with that space, they tax them, they make money out of them. So a measure of fire control and all of those things could also be put in place so that there won't be a situation where people go through this. I mean, you can't be taking tax from people and you're not making provisions for them to strive in their businesses. George, what do you think?
Well, I mean, we have the bad, the good, and the ugly. We don't know where this is coming from, whether it was an intentional fire that was put to destroy businesses from these people. And if that is the case, investigation needs to be done, because enough is just enough in Nigeria. I mean, it's almost like every time you turn around, houses are being demolished. Who do they belong to? Businesses are being burnt down. Who do they belong to? I mean, this is one Nigeria that we are trying to make sure that everybody have an equal playing ground to play in. So when these things are happening, questions need to be asked. Why is it happening? And why?
Why
and where
is it happening?
From? Where is
Where
it coming
does it
from?
take us?
Because
Where is it?
we overlook a lot of things. One thing that I hate about us is we don't look back to history. And that's number one. Number two, we don't tend to understand when something is consistently happening in one way or the other. There might be intentionality and deliberate attempt to stifle, to destroy, to malign, to mess up Nigeria, certain business that belongs to certain people.
Okay,
If
but
we're
also
gonna have one Nigeria, let's have one Nigeria. And then also encourage these businesses to have insurance and ensure that insurance will work in Nigeria, not just collecting people's money. When it comes to their properties being destroyed, you start fighting for years to get your money back, because that's the purpose of insurance.
All right, viewers, you're tuned into Wednesday edition of our SSM. We call this African Update, and that's what we're doing here. George from Toronto, Canada, and Mark Godwin from Milan, Italy. Yes, bring in your comments. Say anything you'd have to say. We want to thank those of you that are bringing in the comments. Apostle Kevbiv, thank you for what you added. George, let's quickly give this update. It's coming in now. Sad one, not too pleasant. They said the House, the Nigerian House of Rep, the House of Senate, the minority leader, it's called Patrick Abba Moro, has just lost his son and his grandson. That's the House, Senate House minority leader. The minority leader for the Senate House. News just came in now that he's been thrown into a state of mourning because he lost two family members within 2 days, the son and the grandson. Also, there's the news of an appointment, George. An appointment, that office, remember Beta's Edu's office. The office of, it's called Poverty, Humanitarian Affairs. So there's a new appointee now. That's the man you're seeing there, Dr. Bernard Mohamed Duro. Dr. Bernard Mohamed Duro is the new Minister for Poverty, Humanitarian Affairs, Nigeria. The appointment was made this morning. So, George, moving on, let's now come to one of the major stories for today. The event on Monday, we had that protest. Showore, the activists, planned a free Nnamdi Kanu's protest. And people conveyed, people gathered in Abuja and some other places too, but they were not allowed to protest. Doesn't this infringes on the human right law on freedom to protest, freedom to express yourself? George, why are they being harassed? Why are they being stopped from expressing themselves? I mean, they were not harmed. They were not harmed.
In Nigeria, you have freedom of speech, but your freedom after the speech is not guaranteed. That's it. You have freedom of speech, but freedom after the speech is not guaranteed. Now, Sowore, in my own opinion, Sowore is using this protest to remain relevant. That's what I think. Yes.
That's what you think.
Why do I say
Dr. Femi also said last time.
Why do I say so? Remember the cost.
Okay.
Let's not forget the heavy price already paid. Thousands of Igbo youths were manipulated into action that led to their own deaths or the deaths of others, all based on lies and incitement by who is called Nnamdi Kanu. Let's not forget, we always have short memories. That's one of the major problems we are facing in that country. Okay? Let's not forget what took place during when this man was actually free out there. Economic self-sabotage. Our own people have suffered immensely in the Igbo. The endless, sit at home orders enforced, in his name have cost Igbo economy millions upon millions of dollars, on and naira, crippling businesses and punishing the very own people he claimed to be represented. Is that what it's supposed to be? The blood of the innocent people that were killed. This is the biggest point. Gullible followers obeying this rhetoric and turn to their own neighbors. Tell me you are advocating for freedom, you want Biafra, but yet you turn around killing your own people. Is that the way that it is done? I have not seen a single person from IPOB who went to the north to do anything, or to the west to do anything, or south to do anything. Their own power is just within Igbo land, and they're killing their own people. And you telling me that we ought to let this man go? He lied for many years that Buhari was dead, that Jibril was a clone. And this youth, gullible youth, believed him and followed him. And up until today, they are still causing havoc in the eastern region. Wait a minute. This is the biggest point, because the blood of thousands of innocent people and all that's, it's really a stain that must be accounted for. Why protest for someone linked to such devastating, internal violence? No. Nnamdi Kanu ought to go to court. Nnamdi Kanu must answer to these charges. And if the court deems it necessary to release him, then he will be, but let him go through the process. There is consequences to decision making and action. You cannot turn on people and cause violence and kill people in your name. It was done. Look at Simon Ekpa after Nnamdi was arrested. The same thing happened to the eastern, to people of the eastern part of Nigeria. So what we need to let them know is it's unacceptable, it's intolerable, and such things must not happen. Let Nnamdi Kanu go through the judicial system. Let the cause, let the full course of the law take its full effect. Let him answer to those questions, because the man is unrepentant, and unfortunately, we don't have to be politically correct. We have to speak truth to power. Simple. That's my opinion. And my case.
Good. This your case. Your opinion was very very loud. You hit this one. Now, what the only question I will put out, the only comment I will say is, he could say all of these allegations have no evidence. He could say he was there in the UK. Things were happening in the east, southeast. It wasn't him. He wasn't there to commit those crimes. He could say
he was inciting people to do so. He was inciting people to do so. He was inciting people, telling them, kill, men, destroy. He was inciting people. And all these things are on record. So it's not hearsay. No, out of his own mouth. I was listening to him. So there is no question whether he said it or not. He was inciting people, and he was inciting, destroy businesses, kill people. He was saying, kill.
And all of the killing and the damages, like you just said, it was just in the southeast. None of those effect had none of them had effect in outside south. So, what kind of movement and organization is that springs up to kill his own people and destroy his land?
Doesn't make any sense. It doesn't make any sense.
It doesn't make any sense.
Are the Igbos preventing you from being whoever that you want to be? You don't go after the people.
Okay, but anyway, there was also some burning of buses in Lagos, which is also one of the allegations against him. I don't know if you heard about that.
Yes.
Buses were burnt. Yes,
he invited people to do so.
Yes. So, but more of the damages were in the southeast. The southeast suffered too much. Families died. Some towns, some villages wiped out.
Operation Python. When they went after him, he was warned repeatedly. Tell the youth not to go out there because these are bloodthirsty soldiers. They will kill. They will destroy. He never did. Not one time did you warn any of the youths, stay home, don't go out there. You talk about leading Igbo people, you talk about leading the youths, and yet you allow them to go out there. During the Operation Python, the soldiers killed thousands of Igbo youths and buried them. Mass grave burial. And you're talking about 2 days, 3 days later, the governors, listen to this, 3 days later, the governors in the eastern called him to Asaba for a meeting. Now he came out. That's when he came out and said, "Oh, they're trying to trap me because he got news that they're trying to trap him." What about the blood of these young people you are allowed to go out on the street that were massacred? What about that? Let him go to court and answer. If the court deems him necessary, if it's necessary, if they release him, let him go. But if they imprison him, he must suffer the consequences like somebody must answer for the blood of Hebrews that were wasted unnecessary because of this man.
Somebody must answer for the blood of Hebrews that was wasted because of the man. Okay, George, also adding to that, the event on Monday, the protest, was organized by Sowore, the activists. Interestingly, when the police swapped in to arrest them, Sowore wasn't arrested. Rather, is that about 14, 11 thereabout or 14 protesters were arrested, and now they are being held in the Kuje prison in Abuja. Among them is his lawyer. That's the lawyer there, the lawyer of Nnamdi Kanu, was arrested. Among them also is his brother. I think they say the senior brother or something, and some other young protesters. The names, we have some names here. We have Bishop Wilson, Unye Uchi, we have Barrister Okere Kingdom Nandi, we have Clinton Chimezie, Gabriel Joshua, Isaiah Husani, Godwin Obiama, and some of them there. Now, what I want to add is that's the IGP that arrested, that gave the order that they should all be brought to law, to Kuje. And the question here, George, is there were some handful of protesters, but these ones now have become the scapegoats. What do you think will happen to them? Because they actually gave the order that they shouldn't come out to protest. You think they will go in? And his lawyer too.
The point is this: you have the right to go and protest, but what happens after that is your business. Number one, the lawyer himself, I deem him to be very foolish to have gone out there to join these people. If you are his lawyer, you ought to be on the standby and warning them and letting them have the legal, give him a legal, a legal expert advice on what and what not to do. Now, usually when you do protest, it's a constitutional right, but you must be given permission to protest. If you are not assigned to protest or not allowed to protest or not permitted to protest, stop. Whatever happens after. Sowore is at home, sleeping with his wife and his children. That's right. And now these people, they gotta face the consequences of their action. The point is this: if the court is saying that we got to take Nnamdi Kanu through the legal process, allow the legal process to take place. He cannot be forgiven of his terrorism crime, and he cannot be forgiven all the things that happened that brought about them going to Kenya to kidnap him and bring him back to Nigeria. Ought to be, yes, listen, because you insulted all the governors in Eastern region. There is no elder that escaped his filthy mouth. He was insulting everybody. If you say anything against him, you will insult. Number one. And then thousands upon thousands of youths died because of him. He ought to sit and answer. The same way that Simon Ekpa has been arrested, and after his sentencing in Finland, he needs to be brought to Nigeria and face the consequences locally. You can't incite people and allow children to be massacred, generations of people wiped away, and you think you're going to come because you are what? You got to, you have the blood of who? What about the innocent blood that died, of the victims that died? What are you going to do about them? So we need to stop this.
We need to stop this, George. The killing has been it has gone overboard.
Yeah, assisting Easterners are afraid to come out on Monday because they don't know what's going to happen to them.
Look at that, George. That's another thing to ponder. Now, trillions of naira is going down the drain. Because we all stay home on Monday for no reason.
For no reason.
Just reason.
Giving opportunity to these hoodlums to come and exercise stupid vagabond power over their own people, allowing them not to come out to do businesses. There are people that depend. If they don't sell anything, they don't eat.
Now, George, the sad thing is some Igbo people will argue with you and say all of this makes sense. It's sad because I don't see how they can't understand that we are the ones setting ourselves back. We are the one making our lives miserable. Hunger, poverty increases because of these foolish acts, these steps that we take. How do you have a whole region of about 40 million, 50 million people sit in their homes because somebody says free Nnamdi Kanu? I mean, this is interesting. George, let's take a break. You've been very outspoken here today. Let's take a break, have a glass of water, refresh yourself. We'll be back. Viewers, you are tuned in to Wednesday Global Africa Updates, SSM. George and I were here. George is spilling real hot. Let's take a break. We'll come on the other end. Thank you.
SSM's Wednesday Global Africa program brings to you our news stories, exclusive reporting, and SSM perspectives on the day's top news. Plus, the inside scoop on Africa's most important developing stories. Join us on Wednesdays, 11 a.m. West African time.
Nigeria, we hail thee, our own dear native land. Though tribe and tongue may differ, in brotherhood we stand. Nigeria,
This is everything you need to marry a Nigerian girl. Her father gave me a list of 39 items which include a live goat. The first place I went was the bulk food market to gather the yam, palm oil, baskets of fruit, and dried fish known as eja osan. And it's not just one yam or liter of palm oil, I am buying large quantities. It was pouring rain and I rented boots to make it through the mud, but it is worth it to marry my beautiful bride. In Nigeria, they practice dowry for marriage, paid to the family. In the Yoruba culture, each item is symbolic and not really a payment to the family, but rather proving your worth to marry her. And prove it I did by next heading to the goat market, where I spoke with a house of men to find the meatiest goat. This is the one I picked, and surprisingly, the goat at only $40 is one of the cheapest items on the list. This can't be done in one day, so after the rain cleared, I went to Mushin Main Market to find the kola nut, both bitter and regular, the alligator pepper, the adun, which specifically said I needed to buy plenty, and bottle of raw honey, which symbolizes that our marriage will be sweet. Next, I had to gather biscuits, bulk packs of different drinks, wine, and semen schnapps, as well as a suitcase full of new clothes for my fiancé to prove I can provide for her in the marriage, and lastly, the marriage Bible, as God will always come first. It is possible to pay someone to buy these items, but for me, I wanted the experience myself. Finally, we brought all these items to the family home for the wedding day. It is not easy to marry a Yoruba girl, but my bride is strong, smart, loving, beautiful, and completely worth it.
This is how a garment factory looks like in China. If you travel there and you step into any of their factories, this is exactly what you will see. Hundreds of sewing machines, hundreds of Chinese youths off the street working hard, producing garments for the world, for Africa, and for Nigerian markets. For years, I've always asked myself, how come the Chinese can do this and we cannot? Now, how come the Indians and the Bangladesh people can figure this out, but we haven't been able to figure this in Africa? You see this factory? It's just like what you find in China. The only difference is that this factory is in Aba, and the people working here, they are Nigerians. Hundreds of Nigerian youths off the street. When we started this garment factory, our biggest fear was power, electricity. Because you know why? In China, they don't use generator to run their businesses. So I'm doing this video to say a big shout out and a big thank you to Aba Power for giving us 24 hours steady electricity. Last year when we were using generator, we were probably just doing like 10,000 clothes in a month. This year when they improved, we moved to like 15,000 clothes in 1 month. Now in October, with uninterrupted power supply, we've moved to 20,000 garments in 1 month. That's the secret. Thank you, Aba Power. Thank you, Governor Alex Oti.
In a world where news flies around every minute, you need the ability to relate and connect with what matters and stay up to date. Schengen Story Media News Echoes program is Africans in Diaspora and at Home's leading English news network, one of the most trusted, respected sources for news updates on current affairs as they affect global Africa.
All right, viewers, you're welcome back. George, welcome back. You tuned into our Wednesday edition of African Affairs SSM. George, let's look at Anambra State and the upcoming November. I think that election comes in on November the 8th. Yes, November the 8th. Anambra's election is coming. Anambra is a state in southeast Nigeria, and it has what you call off-season election. Off-season election means when the election season comes, they don't fall into that same time because they had an earlier probably issues during the general election, and it made them had to go for a rerun or something, and now they find themselves doing election every November the 8th. So Anambra State election, George, what do we hope to see? Do you know any of the candidates personally, George? We have three of them here.
We have three of them, and what we know is the incumbent governor. What's his name, Soludo. So the candidates in the eminent Anambra governorship election, they have signed a peace accord, pledging a violent, free, and credible poll. So that's what we say. The ceremony was attended by INEC and the National Peace Committee amid the security concerns in the state because of the history of what happened last time. The accord binds candidates to respect the law, avoid fake news, and accept the official result declared by INEC. The public is, urged to come out and vote, as security has been beefed up for the election. So this is what we're seeing. I like it because as long as it's not just signing a peace treaty and going behind to manipulate situations and all that kind of stuff. So,
numbers to
hopefully,
results.
hopefully it will work. That's what I hope, that it will work.
Good. All right, George. The last time we had the election in Anambra, well, it was peaceful though. But Soludo swept all the place. I mean, he took all the numbers. So, and Soludo's party is called APGA. APGA is more there in Anambra. APGA actually is headquartered in Enugu, I think so, where it started from by the man Ojukwu. But George, now parties are waxing strong. PDP will not sit back and allow APGA just come in. Now, also, we have this ADC and their coalition. We have one young man in ADC that's also contesting. So everybody's coming with real power, strong powers. Campaign will begin soon. Do you think incumbent could still continue, or we could be getting some surprises? I mean, things change these days, George. Anambra election.
Things change, but there is what you call power of incumbency. That's all I'm gonna say.
Power of incumbency. Okay.
Yeah, I think Soludo is gonna be there for another 4 years. That's all I'm gonna say. I didn't say anything. I just say I believe personally Soludo will finish his 8 years term. Simple, straightforward. That's what I believe. So
okay. Good. All right. So viewers, that's it. Also, like George said, a peace treaty has been signed. We hope they will abide by the rules and have a free and fair election in Anambra come November the 8th. SSM will be there. We'll be streaming live. George, I know you'll be here with us. So we'll also be following up with the events in Anambra State, Southeast Nigeria, on the 8th of November 2025. George, let's move on to other stories. Far away, Ethiopia also has some not good story. About 14 people were killed when a train crashed in eastern Ethiopia. George, do you have that African story? Train just crashed through, killed people, George.
Families that lost their loved ones.
So 14 people they said died and 29 injured. Like the local news was reporting, it happened close to a town near the Djibouti border, and the train was traveling at a very high speed, though, 200 kilometers per hour, and yes, that was some speed. So you can see the pictures there, viewers, if you can look well. These are the carnage, the wreckage from the train, from that accident in Ethiopia. Okay, George, another small story is that, yes, sad story. Another small story is that Japan has elected their first female prime minister. I don't know if you had that news. Japan has, tell us.
A historic first, actually. Sene Takaichi has been elected as the Japan's prime minister, becoming the first woman to hold the position in modern times. It's a significant milestone for the country, as a matter of fact. But the woman is considered a hardliner, a conservative hardliner. He's known for his conservative and a hawk, signaling a likely shift in Japan's domestic and foreign policy toward a more acceptable. So that's what we're seeing there. So a key ally is a new direction. As the leader of the world's third largest economy and a crucial U.S. ally in Asia, her leadership is critical critically important, and then her policies would redirect a lot of things that has been happening because of the former prime ministers and stuff like that. So we're seeing a paradigm shift in the way that Japan is
Yes.
being governed. So how to counter an increasing assertive China and the threat from North Korea. So those things are going to be affected because of this woman now. And then the cornerstone of security in the Pacific, Japan's role in supply chain and international trade will also change. Conservatives mostly go from top to bottom, while liberals go
Mhm.
from bottom up. So that's what we're going to
Oh,
see, a paradigm shift in the way the government is run. So these are the expectations that the world, mostly that
nice.
we will be, wanting to
Good
see.
one. Thank you, George. George, but I don't know why the women, she being the first female prime minister, but they say the women are not celebrating because she's a hardliner. She might not defend their interests. George, why are women always the antagonizers of their fellow women when they are in power?
Well,
Why do
what you have
women
to see,
do that?
okay.
Mhm.
One of,
Tell
when
us,
it comes to
George.
when it comes to politics, it's the media
Mm-hmm.
rule, the
Mm-hmm.
media rule. So the possibility that the person who lost the election to her might have brought a lot
Mm-hmm.
of women to come and begin to antagonize and to attack her is very high. So we know that a lot of women ought to be rejoicing that a hardliner who is a conservative and also a female for the first time is in power. But you will see that sometimes they will raise up a lot of people in that women also to come and attack her. But she's already won the election. So we're going to see what's going to happen eventually. But you remember what happened with your own prime minister when she took over?
Yes,
Uh,
yes.
yeah, but
Young lady,
power,
yes.
power that be could actually,
Mm-hmm.
tighten the news on her to change her some direction that she might want to take. So let's see what happens, after
Yeah,
she's
let's see
taken
what
over.
happens. So viewers are joining. Viewers, well, we're talking about Japan. Japan just elected its first female prime minister, and the election is regarded as a milestone in the country. A country that has been struggling with the equal gender issue, and this woman has come on top now. So let's see what she does for Japan. Let's see how she also bring the women gender into a close line with the male. And also looking at Nigeria, George, we want to see women. I'm in a committee right now in ADC party where we are advocating for women to come out more and be involved in politics, regardless of the obstacles, the hurdles. Like we want women to show their face more, George. But women have a lot to offer when it comes to leadership.
Well, when it comes to
Because
leadership, we trust women
Mhm,
have a lot to offer, but for women to come out the way we want them to in Nigeria, there must be a political
mhm,
reform. The process must be
okay,
reformed because
okay,
number one, politics in
okay.
Nigeria is too dangerous to begin with. It's male oriented. Look at what is happening to Natasha in the Senate. Then it will tell you that even the women that are there in the Senate are not even supporting Natasha because they are afraid of what the men will do. So what we need to
Mhm,
do is a political reform from bottom up so that you will give that cushion and the space for women to participate without their lives being in danger, or maybe after they spend their money in campaign that they will be able to reap the rewards of the benefits from it. So there must be
benefits.
a political reform in Nigeria
Okay.
for the women to fully participate the way we expect them to.
Mm, mm. For the women to participate the way we expect them to. George, it's been beautiful out here. I don't want us to push too much. Just tap, 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 tap. Pure. We're out. George, what last words do you have for today?
Well, I'm
Tell
still
us
praying
what,
for
what
I'm
last.
still praying. I'm still praying for the Federal Republic of Nigeria. That's my beloved country. I pray for one Nigeria,
Nice.
one mindset, all of us looking in the same direction together. I pray for the leadership of Nigeria, beginning from the president to the local government chairman. I pray that God will grant them the wisdom and the strength and the resilience to stand firm, to do the right thing in order for us to go to that paradise where we know that we all belong. And then I pray for the country of Canada and the country of the United States of America so that they will continue. And I pray for Israel that the peace that they have signed will continue, to continue so that there will not be unnecessary death anymore. So that is my last word. This is what we call the hump day. May the rest of your week be blessed and stay safe out there.
Stay safe out there, George. Wonderful blessings you've dropped here now. For me, I want to also say, let's go out there, stop the violence, stop all this killing in the southeast. Let's stop it. Let's come out and begin to live. I mean, the southeast of Nigeria was one of the most beautiful part of Nigeria, the Igbo land. But it's been messed up. It's been so messed up that my family, we went to bury our dad, and we had to do it very fast, and everybody just split it out, because Monday sit at home will come, harassment from all these militant groups and all of that. And it's so funny. I mean, where else do you want to rest your head if not your fatherland? So the Igbos should really think about this.
We are professing ourselves to be wise, we become fools. That's
it's foolishness.
Yes, in Nigeria. So now all the governors in this state, and that's the reason why, even currently, as we speak, I am advocating in Imo State for a man called Charles Orie, because he got the blueprint. Yes, he got the blueprint. He got that blueprint.
We're going to come on Charles. Yeah, we're going to come on Charles on the network, because the Imo State is the core of the Igbo land, and that is where also most of these gruesome acts are being committed. Imo State, Owerri capital. So the man that comes in there should really be checked, and we should really get to meet him, know him, who is going to lead us in that part of the state.
We can prepare the table. We can prepare the table for him to come and
yes.
Speak with us.
So
the one thing is that I'm advocating for him simply because he stays here with us in Canada, so I do understand his spirit, his understanding, his wisdom, and the blueprint of what he wants to do in our land. Look at what is happening today. There was something that you were showing a few minutes ago about somebody who is an industry that is manufacturing clothes, and they are hailing Alex Oti simply because when they started having constant light, they moved from the production, increased their production from 10,000 to almost 25,000 because of steady light. And that will reduce also electricity. They will reduce the cost of producing these materials. So what we are advocating also is the foundation is being laid as we speak in Imo State. So we want somebody who's going to take the mantle and take it to another level. I personally believe that man is Charles Orie, and we want him.
All right, let's see if he can. Yes, let's see if he can make it. We need to hear from him also. We need to know him, and hope. We don't know. Okay, George, it's up to you. Get your man. SSM is open to have him engage with us. Viewers, beautiful hump day, like George will call it. Have a great Wednesday hump day, and like we said, let's stop the violence. Let's live in oneness, peace, and unity, as our Nigerian logo says: peace and unity.
And
on this note,
do not forget to pray for your state, because this is the best. We want Imo State to be like Vegas again. We want Imo State to be like Dubai again. And I know the man who is going to do it is Chief Charles Orie, and I'm advocating for him.
That's your man. Well, let's All right, George, thank you for coming. Viewers, thank you for being here. It's been SSM Wednesday African Update, and we're out. See you Friday for the international updates. Thank you. God bless you all. Bye-bye.
SSM's Wednesday Global Africa program brings to you our news stories, exclusive reporting, and SSM perspectives on the day's top news. Plus, the inside scoop on Africa's most important developing stories. Join us on Wednesdays, 11 a.m. West African time.